Maximals, Maximal Primal here. Welcome back to Destiny 2. This is actually a special one. This is our 200th Destiny 2 part 200. Yeah. So
has moved beyond our reach.
yeah, we got a seasonal cutscene. Great. Should have a mission hopefully. But the main thing is that I actually haven't really been playing this current season, not because it's terrible or bad, like it's probably mediocre, but it's just those bugs and that. I remember I was ill and I was like, oh god, and I was just trying to play like normally, and I was going to record, and then because I was sick, I then stopped recording for a bit, and then did this, did that, and then I was like, you know what, forget it, and yeah. Yeah, as you can tell, they try to go for the pool, that's what happens, so that's why we can't just go flying through, because I mean logically you would think, well, why don't we just go fucking through instead of waiting like 4 seasons to the next DLC.
When it first arrived. Deputy Commander Sloan held the line on Titan to the bitter end, right up until the witness took it.
Yep, capture what happened before. But the thing is though, is that I didn't think we'd be at 200 parts. I thought we'd wrap around 150 or something like that, or less than 200 definitely. But the fact is, this is the 200 part one, the second season of this year. We got 2 more seasons and a final DLC, the final shape. So we got 3 more expansions. We got no expansions, 3. So you got this season and 2 more. And another expansion with potentially another 4 seasons. Who knows? And that's assuming that they don't do any more. Because God forbid they probably will. If this is the end of the saga, there might be more. But it's been a bit of a tough spot. Normally I would also be like, you know, here you go, here's like the best of each 10 part. But I thought, you know what? Nah, I want to just get into it, kick some butt. And yeah, that's the main thing for me. It's just been a bit of a slog for people. I think people have been getting burnt out. And Marathon, at the time of this recording, they announced a Marathon, which I'm interested in, but because it's free, I'd say if I had to pay for it, I'd be like, I'd see, if that made sense. And I think there's been some issues where the servers have been going down as well. There have been times where I was like, you know, I'm going to record, and then it's like, oh, okay, the servers are down. Good thing I'm not recording then. It's good if I made that call. And, you know, that's the thing as well. I know servers get good, and I thought this is kind of bad. I talked to my friends and like our Discord group about it, and, you know, it's just like, geez, what the fuck's going on? Like, we understand people have lives, but this is kind of one of those things where it's like, hey, you know, maybe you should get your shit together, guys. Like, goddamn. Also, while I'm at it, I'm going to grab us a gun. A new gun. So I'm just grabbing whatever I can at the moment. But yeah, they've changed. I'm also checking because I actually haven't been on this week, so I'm actually seeing what's here. You know what? You know what? Let me just see what's here. That's a Sparrow. I like the look of it, but I want to wait for the ship. You know what? That looks cool. But I'm not. Damn how brightness, and if I had the brightness is like one of those things where it's like harder to get, I'm like, yeah, no. You know, where is it? I'm just doing that because why not? And yes, it's just huge, why not? I'm going to give it a go because I like the... I don't mind the weapon, weirdly enough.
The Guardian has landed. I'm at our own sea. No sign
yeah, so we got like a call here, so we're actually heading back to Titan for the most part. Sorry about that. Then what's up my threat at the moment? Oh yeah, there's also a new gun. I actually want to look at it quickly if that's alright with you guys, because... Oh, there it is, it's there, because we haven't found it.
Guardian, You need to cross the ridge to a line of communication.
But yeah, like 200 parts. Like I've never had a Let's Play get to 200, let alone 100. No, 100, let alone 200. Like Destiny 1. If you're to include that, we've almost done 300 parts worth of the Destiny series. That's like ridiculous. Like compared to I don't know, like. Oh yeah, hang on. I know I'm a bit of an idiot. Because I use Spotify like when I've been playing my spare time. I've started using Spotify, so I turned the music and everything off. Hang on. I need to kill these enemies and stay in a corner somewhere. Yeah, I liked the Centrifuge. I thought it was alright. I don't know about the Skyfall. I've heard issues about the mission, so maybe I might need Austin to help me with that. I don't know. Let me just sort the music out, because, you know. Oh, no music at all. Oh yeah, I remember now. Oh.
Extraction team, status.
All clear, Commander. Minimal casualties.
Tidal anchor is secure. The taken are gone.
Also, while I'm at it,
Get to the array.
I'll equip it now. I'm going to also put on these because I can and will. That makes all sense. That. Amped up, yep, why not? I don't know, so ultimately I have to say, like, I'm actually impressed that we've had a Let's Play go this long, but then this is one of those games that's keeping going. I think that's kind of a thing as well, is that some of the parts might have been filler, you could argue that, and that's maybe, you could argue like over 20 parts were like filler, so take them away, and it's like, and that's fair. I mean, some of the parts were probably unnecessarily longer than they should have been. I mean, some of them were also raid based, and you know, there was that. So you know, that's a fair point. There was the raids, and that's something I kind of still should do, but I don't know why. Like, I got people I can do it with. That's not the problem. Like, I could ask Austin and some of the people in my Discord. That's not a problem. It's just like. It's like, and it's not great because if the content goes and there's going to be a rush, and that's why I did all those raids before. But this is one of those things where I'm like, and I don't know why. Like, you would think. Oh, that was a bit close. But no, yeah. So. That's my reason for raids. Like, I've just been a little bit not. I'm a bit like apathetic to it. Like, I'm like, yeah. Well, I'll do raids and help people do activities and play with them, you know, have fun. And ultimately, you know, I do that. But the thing is, as well, I also do them on my Titan. On my Hunter, I haven't really thought about it for a while either. So I'm going to be rusty as fuck, and I'll probably need to Austin to give me a hand, like, get a raid build set up just to make sure I'm not fucking up because I'm playing like a Titan, which I kind of still do, but I mean, in terms of equipment, like, it's probably a good idea to have the proper stuff ready, so at least I'm pulling my weight and not handicapping everyone. And there's also the Godzilla that some people in the group might also not know a certain race. We've got to get them up to scratch, and I don't think that's fair recording teaching them. When there's going to be struggles, I don't think that's really fair. But then you could argue, well, that's good because it's showing you that hey, not every group's an elitist slash super sweaty or whatever, or they're not perfect. Every group has hiccups, which is fair enough, and that's fair. I just don't want to put that pressure on people, but right. Yeah, last time I did this mission, I remember I was sick as a pig. I had like a virus one night. Like one day, I just woke up with a headache. Just felt really tired and dizzy as fuck, and then I could barely keep my eyes open. I remember I was here like barely like that. And I kept dozing off because the servers were fucking up as well, which again is something they need to do fix. I'm sorry, get them sorted out. Like you've got enough money to do it, and you could argue, no, I don't care. No, I don't care. I'm sorry, but I just feel like it's not. It's a bit of an excuse now at this point. It's just like they're just trying to get as much out as they can, and I don't know. There's a lot of thoughts about it, but then I feel like if I share some of those thoughts, it's going to come as offensive and probably upset people. So it's like, yeah, no, forget it. I just think, personally, I just think they should just get their shit together and just be like, look, instead of focusing on a brand new game, you kind of want people to be comfortable going into that new game. Because why would people want to try out the new game if the game they're currently on is being ditched, basically, and left to rot? Like, that's kind of a red flag. It's like a house building company. It's like, oh yeah, these guys built this house, but now they got a job for a new house, and now they're suddenly building this one and prioritising all the new features for the house and make sure it's all better and everything. And this house still currently they still haven't 100% finished and now starting to rot away. You're not going to feel confident in having those people build you a house. Like, no. And I know that's different. I know it's real low. It's same principle. You wouldn't. It's just logically you wouldn't do that. You have a foundation. You don't just keep building on a tower without a stable foundation. And yeah, the game has a good foundation, I think. But the issue is that they've not maintained it, and that's the problem. They're now not maintaining it anymore with the support it needs, and they're not building around it to keep it stable for the long run, and that's the problem. I said there's a lot of problems with this game, and ultimately it's going to be, when Final Shape happens, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And to be fair as well, I will say this, there's also cases of parts that we've lost out on. I mean, there's content that we've missed out. We missed out on some of the first few seasons, like Season of the Undying and all of that lot. We missed that. We missed the Dawn. We missed a few of them. We didn't really pay attention to them until after Shadowkeep, when I was rushing because the content was starting to get wiped, so I was rushing around. That's what will be online in 2020. So for me, there was that, and overall that's something that is, I don't know, that arguably we could have probably reached 100 parts 20 parts ago, depending on how early I got into it. If I kept consistent with it, probably would have easily have done it, but for whatever reason I just never got to it in time, did I? And it's unfortunate, because weirdly enough, the one thing I do hate is that I missed out on the Season of the Undying armor. That was good. I liked the robotic looking arm, and I thought that was cool, but then I missed out on it because, God forbid, I wasn't there the one season, because God forbid it was one of those times of the game's lifespan where it was going through a shit time. And I think this is the issue as well, is that it's FOMO. You miss out on cosmetics. It's great, you've missed out on them, and it's well, no, can't you just add them in a legacy thing that people can get? You would think as well, they're here to make money, they're a company, but then just put them in there. It doesn't make it special. It's well, people can just buy it anyway from the past, using levels.
So you're down. Fight me. I will tear you apart with my bare hands.
Yeah, as well, just to clarify, yeah, that voice is Zero. Like, basically, you have Southfield Oryx, and that's the third one. So, the season's about the third one. And if I die, I could respawn. It's still like... You know what? I'm happy that we've made 200. Like, it's nice to have something that continues, but then it's like... I don't mind, like, I will say this. Once it ends, it's like, you know what? I'll be like, you know what? It's done. And I'll be happy about that, because that's one game that I can finally put to bed. Because I'm trying to think of what other game could take that long, and realistically... Unless I was doing like an MMO, then I don't think there's really... whatever. But no, I don't really think there's many other games unless it's like something else goes online. But then I tried to do that once, but I don't know what to do now because like I feel like I'm just dumped in the middle of something because it's not like how I played originally, and that's... You know, you can argue Warframe, but then Warframe, same thing. And Destiny, sadly now, if I started just now, it would be the same. I'd be like, what the fuck? And that's unfortunate because if you're starting, and I still mean this, bolting was the worst thing they could have done because now story-wise they fucked everything up and confused everybody with what's the actual starting point. They don't have a proper starting point anymore. They didn't make Forsaken through, which I think they should by now. So people have a story, or better yet, kept Forsaken, because that would have been an alright starting point. Because again, they killed off an important character, and it's like they killed off a main character basically, and then it's like, yeah, we're gonna vault the content, and it just seems like BS really. It's also a bit funny that they also seem to have got rid of the main expansions that they worked on with Activision, but yet kept Shadowkeep, which I find a bit... makes you feel like there's a bit of spite. Wouldn't surprise me with a company like that. I don't know. It's kind of hypocritical of me, I know, talking a bit of smack about them while I'm playing their game, and that's the thing. I feel like that's a fair point. You know, you can come off as hypocritical, and that's true. But I also feel like you can criticise a game while still loving it. You know, it's like you have a child. You know, just because they're a child doesn't mean you can't criticise their actions and choices. You can only just give them criticism and be like, look, I don't approve of this, but you know, still love you. You know, that's kind of... And I'm not saying that it's as serious as that, but that's kind of what I'm trying to use as a metaphor. You know, it's one of those things where you would play it and then be like, look, I like this, but... And most times, you know, unless it's those people that go, hey, I'm going to go to your house and hunt you down, that's different. Those people are just fucking idiots. And, you know, take it a bit too far, to be honest. But the people who are just like, look, we're just, you know, sick of all the BS, we just want improvement. They want to play it again, they want improvement, but it's just, you know, they feel they're being ignored, and I can get that. And that's a fair point.
We need to find Sloane and get her out of here now. You're almost at the array, Guardian. Get moving. Go!
To me, I think that's actually important, but at the end of the day, though, we're not gonna... Unfortunately, we're not gonna have that, because it depends on the people, don't it? Like, whoever's there at the moment, whoever's making the calls for all this, and you could argue it's probably too late, and I think maybe it is too late, I don't know. If they still got plans for more expansions even after Final Shape, then I'm going to be honest and say no, I think it's not too late to at least end it off on a high note. Witch Queen's shown that they can do something, and I think they need to if this is the last one, make it the very best possible. If I have to delay it for like another few months, then do it. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But that's kind of the problem. There we go. almost there. So just got to line these up. I actually didn't realise they're all
Systems are lining
not
up
lined
here.
up.
I have Sloane's position as 1 kilometer down.
She is in the ocean. It is a sea of crushing methane. Nothing can survive there.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Guardian, rig schematics show a ballast maintenance shaft near your position. Follow the signal down and find the deputy commander. I'll join up with you shortly.
But no. For me, Destiny is one of those games I feel like can improve, but depending on how much they're wanting to, I'm willing as well, because if there's not much incentive, I mean, they're getting enough money out of people. I mean, the fact they upped the season price is a bit ballsy. But here we go, here's a new mechanic.
Arrived at the diving point. I'm coming down to you.
That ain't gonna happen, boss. Do you know how much pressure they're taking? They gotta get out of there.
I am not leaving anyone behind again.
And I ain't saying we do. Alright, that's enough. I'm pulling you up before you and your ghost get flattened. Welcome to the derelict. I'm down an
You were here before, but we got rid of the content because we at Bungie don't believe in over-delivering.
Savannah's got his heart in the right place, but old Blue's about as stubborn as they come. You can't brute force this moon. The collapse messed the whole place up good. Gravity's weird down in the deep. There's pockets of air. Some places you can move safely. Others that'll crush you into a little speck. But I think I got something in my guts that'll help us out. Titan ain't my first aquatic rodeo. Go ahead and try out that prototype. Should protect you from the pressure. Well, some of it, at least. Now get on out of here. I'll fill the boss man in for you.
Let's try again. But yeah, so this is like a new mechanic going to war, and I like this to be fair. I actually thought this is actually a nice little addition. I mean, you're going into this war. I know it's not I know it's definitely not proper war, but it's still nice. I think that's quite cool. I don't see the problem with that. But, you know, that's ultimately the main thing for me is they need to try and improve it, whether it's a certain way or just by putting more money and people onto it. And yes, I understand they're a company, they gotta focus on what's new, but then they gotta also save face. They can't keep, you know, leaving this game and ignoring people, because those people are the ones. I mean, you could argue it's going to be a case of they want to go for the broader audience, but that broader audience is going to see that, hey, the previous games, especially in the news and, you know, online news places, and that are going to talk about Twitter everywhere. And go, well, hang on, aren't these the guys that got rid of most of their game or whatever?
You're almost at the source of the distress signal. I've acquired one of
I don't know.
Drifter's devices.
I don't know, it's odd.
Joining you momentarily.
I will say this is actually quite cool. And ultimately, this is one of those things that I believe strongly in. This sort of stuff's cool, and I just think they need to do more of this and just vary. I just don't like the story. I just don't like the repetitiveness of the season anymore. It's like 1 week is like, and then next week it's like, okay, now we can tell you. Next week, it's like, oh my god. I hate that with Season of the Haunted. It gives me Season of the Haunted vibes, and I hate that so much. But I think it didn't help that we were playing it on a weekly basis as well. I think that was a problem.
Sloane?
But no.
Here, Commander.
You're alive.
Staying alive was the mission. And I always complete the mission.
No wonder you called us, sister. Let's get you back home.
You don't understand. That distress call wasn't for me.
It's for Willie, apparently. Willie apparently escaped Earth during the collapse. After the film, he was then sent to Titan. Essentially, it's just like, hell, we're going to listen to the fish. The fish has knowledge. It's important. And that's basically you hear a little bit of dialogue and that's it. Next season, it's like next month, no, not month, week, and it's like, ugh. I do think personally, it's always good to like give it a few weeks and then play it. But then you're playing catch up in terms of. I feel like that's how it kind of feels like you need to play at the moment, which is unfortunate. You shouldn't have to keep waiting.
What is that?
An ally. Her name is Asa.
You can communicate with it?
It's complicated, sir. I get impressions, emotions, ideas. She knows our true enemy. The witness came for her species, too. Discrete concepts are harder. Even more now, since this.
And you're still... you?
Every bit. My light is holding this corruption back, but I can hear voices whispering, demanding. It's like being tuned in to the enemy's radio. If we could strengthen my connection with Asa, I believe it would improve my ability to communicate.
So basically, do the activity so she can talk through her. So they go, oh, I can't do it anymore. I have to take a break. See you next week. And that's literally what it is. And it's like, oh, I hate that so much. I'm like, oh my god.
Sloan.
I'm fine, sir. And I think I'm long overdue for a debriefing.
As you wish. We'll reconvene at the helm.
I can't get pushed out of the way. Yeah, I like the fish's eyes, but yeah. So we're going to the helm. Just how you get here. And I have to say, this is cool. There's relics and all sorts from the previous seasons, as you can tell. But yeah, the thing is as well, it's like, when you have to go like, you have to come back here and talk to them on here. I'm like, why can't I talk to them, you know, in that room? Why'd I have to come back here to talk to her when she can walk us like, I have to take a piss, like, oh my god.
The Taken moved in quick after we lost Titan. I had to switch gears. Escape, evade, and rotate between extraction points. Survive for another day. That was the mission. I absorbed some of the Taken corruption to tap into their comms, if you can call them that. My bond with Asa proved mission critical too. I owe her my life. Now that Titan's back, the mission's changed.
Well, no, it's not. You can't go there. You can only go there via a playlist, and that's unfortunate as well. But then, to be fair, they didn't say that you can go back there and roam it, and I feel like that's kind of what people took, and that's on people for assuming. But to be fair, all that content should be back anyway. It should have been back years ago, but whatever.
Feel free to toss out that some Drifter gave you earlier.
But no, the main thing is ultimately is that now this is the plot. We got to go and do missions, kick butt, and yeah, beneath the water. Wow, glimmer.
Hey there, hero. While you were taking a dip in the methane, I detected something on the ocean floor. And it ain't native to Titan. I've seen it before. On the Glykon, on the Leviathan, on my own ship too. An organism that's all about forming psychic connections. Seems it's growing like coral down.
Oh yeah, that stuff that we saw ages ago. Yep.
And use it to amplify Sloane's link to the creature. I can modify my gambit equipment to bank that stuff and harness its power. But I'll need some Golden Age parts to do it. Just so happens, the arcology is full of Golden Age tech waiting to be salvaged. You help me collect it, and I'll fix up the bank. Then it's just a matter of, well, diving into the depths of the methane sea and dredging up what Sloane needs. All while trying not to drown, of course.
That's true.
Nothing you can't handle? So what do you say? Ready for another swim?
Fair enough. Right. Grab bounties as well while at it, because makes sense. Right, so what's the next mission? Oh yeah, salvage activity. But that's the thing, I'm actually going to show this off as well quickly. It's been that where we're barely level 3. And a good few people don't even play it really now, because it's just gone and that's unfortunate. But yeah, anyway, we'll leave out this part up in a moment, but first I'm going to get these done. Yep, I like that. There we go, done. Oh yeah, we get stuff like that. I would show off the taken weapon, but with my current build, I think not. I'm fine for now. Alright, so next part we will continue on and get these done. It should be good, should be alright. And yeah, next part we'll do salvage and go from there. Because at the time of this recording, it is one of those things where we've actually it's been a few weeks, so I should be able to have, like, I'd have to keep waiting every week now for a while. Unless it's a very good season that I'm super excited for, I shouldn't be doing every week like I was, so should be able to get it all done in one go. So should be less fillery. But anyway, see you all next time. Take care. See ya.